Hard work and determination are the keys to success. These words have been my daily bread. Hi, my name is Bintu. I am a 25-year-old young woman entrepreneur. I come from Benin. Before continuing my story, I invite you to subscribe and above all leave us a comment. I grew up in a family of 12 children, among whom I am the eldest. We were really poor. My father was a craftsman and my mother was a petty trader. We lived in a poor and struggling neighborhood where opportunities were scarce and discrimination was widespread. My family struggled to make ends meet, and we often went without necessities. Despite the challenges I faced, I was determined to create a better life for myself. The money my parents earned was not enough to take care of 12 children. It was therefore difficult for us all to go to school. My father therefore decided that I will quit school and start a small business, so that I too could contribute to the management of the household expenses. This decision did not appeal to me. How was I supposed to stop school? What was to become of me if I stopped my studies? How was I going to get my family out of poverty? These questions raced through my mind day and night, but eventually I solved them. After all, I had no choice. This is how, at the age of 15, I threw myself into the hustling life. At first, it was not at all easy, but with my mother's help, I began to like it. Growing up, I was fascinated by the world of business and entrepreneurship. I spent my free time reading books about successful business leaders and learning everything they could offer me about running a business. I knew I wanted to become a successful businesswoman, but it seemed like an impossible dream to me since I wasn't educated. Most often, after my readings, I made homemade artistic decorative objects. At first, it was a gain for me, but I noticed that many women in the neighborhood appreciated these objects and even asked that I sell them to them. With the taste for entrepreneurship that was born in me, I decided to open my own business. At the age of 18, I decided to tell my mother about my project. I walked up to her room one evening and said excitedly, "Mom, I want to talk to you about something." "What, my daughter?" "I would like to start my own business." "What?" "I now want to sell the art objects that I make." "Congratulations, my daughter. This is a very good idea. Have you ever talked to your dad about it?" "No, mother." "Do it quickly. I believe he will be happy." The next day, I spoke to my father about it, but I was surprised at his response. "My daughter, you can't get into this kind of business. It's not for women. You have to keep selling donuts with your mom." "But Dad, this trade is a very good business. It will definitely be a career." "Why this gender distinction in business?" "Bintu, I have decided so." End of the discussion. I got up and walked out of the house all sad and confused. How was this business a problem for a woman? I did not really understand my father. What was I going to do? I was determined to set up my project. A few days later, despite my father's refusal, I launched my business of decorative objects in the street near the craft center of the city. I was pleasantly surprised because that same day, I sold all the pieces I had brought. I did it for a week. Unfortunately, the second week, my father found out. In anger, he kicked me out of the house. Not knowing what to do, I went to meet one of my aunts in town and explained the whole problem to her. "Hello, Auntie Alima. Hello, Bintu. What is happening? Why are you crying?" "Auntie, Daddy does not want me to start my own business by selling the decorative objects that I make." "Why, my daughter?" "He says that this business is not for women. When he found out I was doing it, he kicked me out." "Don't worry, my daughter. I'm going to help. I'm going to talk to him. In the meantime, you can spend a few days here." Auntie Alima was my father's younger sister. She was a teacher and had always wanted me to study. But with the financial situation of my parents, she understood that it was only a dream for her. Time passed and I continued to sell my decorative items. It was going well and I received new orders every day. My business was growing day by day. Tata Alima suggested that I look for funding to expand it further. "Bintu, do you know that you can go to banks to seek financing for your project?" "No, Auntie, I did not know." "You can go there for the first time to get all the necessary information. Then we will see how to proceed." "Ok, Auntie Alima, I will go tomorrow morning." The next day, I rushed to go to the various banks in the city, as agreed the day before, to collect all the information on the financing of a personal project. When I got back, I was a little discouraged. Putting together the file was not easy, because I always believed that all doors will be open to me. As my business grew, I faced new challenges. I struggled to obtain financing and was even often rejected by banks and investors because of my background. But I was not discouraged. Instead, I was finding creative ways to fund my business and build a strong network of buyers. At home, everything was fine. I gave them great financial support, much larger than they would have imagined. My mother was proud of me. My dad didn't want to hear it. He was all the more angry because I was living with Auntie Alima. For him, she encouraged me in my stupidity. A few months later, I was invited by the Ministry of Art and Culture on a television channel to talk about my project, the artistic decorative objects that I was selling. The show was broadcast nationwide. My father was very surprised to see me appear on television. He couldn't believe it. Since I was encouraged by the Ministry of Culture, he started to support me, no longer seeing any inconvenience in what I was doing. Thanks to my hard work, perseverance, and determination, my business has become one of the most successful in the region. It was able to provide jobs and opportunities for others in my community, and I became a role model for young women and girls everywhere. My story shows that no matter where you come from or what obstacles you face, with hard work and determination, anything is possible.